Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Randall. This is the McClures. We react, review, make fun of, and laugh at stuff over here. We are sponsored by McClures.store. You can get quality American products. We are checking out Michael Knowles today. We got some of him on the channel. I enjoy him. He brings good info in a good way. He doesn't bore you to death. But he's going to get into some more of this creepy Balenciaga campaign situation, which is super freaking creepy, super creepy. And I don't know why more celebrities aren't coming out against this. I think Kardashian took like a week to say anything, and she's getting paid mad money. Kanye, I guess, is still supporting him, still rocking the boots, which is weird, but who knows what's going on with Kanye these days. He thinks he's going to beat Trump in a primary, so who knows what this guy's thinking. But let's get into this, see what Michael Knowles is talking about. I'm going to speed it up a little bit just because it's 12 minutes, so let's see what he says.
Balenciaga just wiped their Instagram page. Okay, if this were just nothing,
yes,
don't you think Balenciaga would just sort of move on? Oh, no big deal. No. They wiped their Instagram page. They've issued a major apology. That's now the only thing that's featured on their Instagram page. And here's what they say. The first campaign, the gift collection campaign, featured children with plush bear bags dressed in what some have labeled BDSM-inspired outfits.
Look how creepy that is, dude.
Just put a pause there. It's not what some have labeled BDSM outfits. It's BDSM outfits. I don't know how else you would describe it. Would you say they're dressed up like cowboys? No. Are they dressed up like bikers?
I mean, look how absolutely creepy that is. Like, this went through editing, you know, like multiple stages of review. And they got kids holding dolls in leather straps, bro.
No. They're wearing like weird leather chain stuff, but it's clearly a weird sex thing. Our plush bear bags in the gift collection should not have been featured with children. This was a wrong choice by Balenciaga. Combined with our failure in assessing and validating images, the responsibility for this lies with Balenciaga alone. Okay, so they are saying, they're trying to weasel out of it a little in the beginning. Some have called it a BDSM thing. But then they're saying, look, this was horrible. This was terrible. This shouldn't have featured kids. We shouldn't have let this go through. We're sorry. It's our fault. We're sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. So I don't want to hear, oh, you conservatives are blowing this out of proportion. Balenciaga admits this is a weird, creepy, pornographic, child-featuring, S&M-having, weird sex thing. But then they go on. They say, the second separate campaign for spring 2023, that's the one with the child porn case being featured, which was meant to replicate a business office environment, included a photo with a page in the background from a Supreme Court ruling, United States versus Williams, 2008, which confirms as illegal and not protected by freedom of speech the promotion of child pornography. All the items included in this shooting were provided by third parties that confirmed in writing that these props were fake office documents. They turned out to be real legal papers, most likely coming from the filming of a television drama. The inclusion of these unapproved documents was the result of reckless negligence for which Balenciaga has filed a complaint. We take full responsibility, accountability for our lack of oversight.
So do you, I mean, like, are they that twisted where they're like full on going like, let's get some fake legal papers back from this old court case that supports pedophilia, make sure that's on the background in the picture? Like, are they that in-depth, subtle, or are they just that retarded? I don't I don't understand what the hell is going on? What the?
Oversight and control of the documents in the background, and we could have done things differently. Okay. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I strive to cultivate a spirit of charity and always seeing the bright side of things. Sorry, I don't think so. Once, it's a fluke. Twice, it's a coincidence. 3 things, 4 things, 5 things. I don't know. It just seems a little bit weird. And we are seeing...
Yeah, it seems like you got a whole ad marketing department or something full of pedos, bro. I don't know if they're that dumb, bro. I think there's just that many creepy of them all working together that it just coalesces into a pile of creepy, dude.
Lots and lots of evidence that Balenciaga and the people around Balenciaga have a weird fascination with weird sex stuff and kids.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just noticing that. I'm just seeing that. And we've got a lot of evidence to back it up. You're telling, oh, oops, actually, yeah. Just as we're getting all this heat for a weird pornographic child featuring campaign, Oh, just oops, coincidentally, the set decorator used these documents. It's probably from a television drama. We're not going to give you any evidence of that, but let's just say it's that. And it just coincidentally, the exact part that's featured there specifically refers to a child porn case. And yes, it's from, notice they say, it's from U.S. versus Williams, which was a case that said that the peddling of child porn is not protected speech. But in the line of that document that was featured specifically in the photograph, it referred to a different Supreme Court decision. It was the Free Speech Coalition case, which actually found that simulated child pornography is protected speech, which is a ridiculous ruling from the Supreme Court. But the ruling that was referenced there was a pro-child porn case. Balenciaga's argument is, this was all just accidental. Let me tell you something. Most people have never spent time around a film set or a photo shoot set.
Dude, nothing is accidental
on a film set, on a photo shoot set.
Exactly.
Especially when we're talking about a very prestigious, very high-end fashion brand. It's not like you walk up there with a digital camera and say, okay, click, 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 okay, we got our shots. Everything is meticulously set. And when you start pulling on this thread, it gets really, really weird. Because one of the big stylists for Balenciaga, a woman named Lada Volkova, got a lot of press yesterday, not from the corrupt establishment media, but just from citizen journalists, just from regular old people who were looking into, just poking a little bit into the Balenciaga story. And the stuff they found, well, I'll let you judge for yourself. I don't see any way to read this woman's work as anything less than an obsession with sexualizing little kids in the most perverse, egregious, nauseating sort of way.
Bro,
so Lada Volkova is a stylist, a very prominent stylist, worked with Balenciaga for a long time, worked alongside Balenciaga's creative director, Demna Gvasalia, until 2017. And people started looking into some of her other work yesterday. So Balenciaga tries to get ahead of the story. They say, Lada Volkova has not worked with Balenciaga or its team since 2017. She has in no way participated in the brand's recent Instagram or advertising campaigns. That's what a Balenciaga spokesman told Newsweek. Okay, but this woman did work with Balenciaga for a long time. She clearly has had a lot of influence on the company. So Jake Shield, who's a former UFC fighter, just starts looking into her Instagram page.
Yeah, let's just take a look at the Instagram. Let's see what the creepy's doing on the weekends.
We've blurred out the faces. Obviously, these faces were not blurred out on her Instagram. One of the first ones that pops up is this little girl in a kind of really done-up sort of hairdo, lying on the ground, lying on her side in a sort of skimpy little leotard, and kind of smiling in a very creepy way, but with a hand out that sort of says no. Another one is a child in high heels, topless, in a very strange sort of position. Obviously, one is a child's bedroom just covered in gore and blood everywhere. More, it wasn't just these four photos. Trash bags all tied up in a weird, looks very like some kind of a little kid made to watch it. There's more images.
Bro.
We're talking about overt person's campaign.
All right, I don't want to
so maybe it's just
shit, dude.
But it's her kind of lying around weird. So some kind of witch.
All right, I don't even want that on my screen, bro. What the fuck are we doing here, people? What the? What the? Like, bro. I guess I gotta take a minute. I don't even know what to say about any of those images, bro. Like, okay.
Controlling the Balenciaga campaign. Not telling you she's not. I mean, there's overt satanic imagery here and weird child sex stuff. But then something that's really, really weird. I'm not the first person to discover this. Someone called my attention to it, and I looked it up, tried it myself. I don't know how to explain this. I'm not making any allegation. I'm just observing this, okay? I'm just noticing. You type into Google Translate Latin to English. So Latin, the universal language, right? It's supposed to be the main language of the world. It's the language that, when I attend Mass, that's the language that it's in. But it's the language that was the universal language until very, very recently. You type in ba. From Latin into English, you get nothing. It just says ba, because ba is not a Latin word. Then you type in a second word, len. Ba len. What's the English rendering? Ba len, because len is not a Latin word either. Ba len si. Ba len si. Again, you just get ba len si because there's no Latin translation of that because those are not Latin words. But here's where it gets really weird. You type in ba len si aga. And then the English translation is do what you want. I'm not making any accusation. I'm not even speculating. I just don't.
Wait.
Do what you want. The thing that's really weird about that.
Wait, what, bro? Yep. That is a true fact, HBR, but they're
Is
not going to let that
do
chat
what you
go
want is
through.
the commandment of the Satanists. This was the commandment of Aleister Crowley. Do what thou wilt is the entirety of the law. That's what he says. That is the satanic commandment. Going back to the Garden of Eden, do what you want, Eve. Come on, you shall be as gods. Do what you want. Now, when you look on Google Translate, it says, would you like to translate this from Hausa, which is an African language? But it's not translating it from Hausa. That's not what it means in Hausa. When you click the translator from Hausa, it gives you a different translation. I have no way of making any sense of this.
I'm Nick Nimmin, and I'm a
Yeah,
StreamYard
that's
user.
super
For the last
creepy,
6
dude.
years, I've been live streaming consistently.
Because if it's not actually Latin, then how does it translate in Google? Unless somebody that works at Google specifically went in and just changed the search results for that specific search filter to come up with that answer. And why do these creepies do this kind of stuff? Like, why are they so in depth and at such a detail demented, bro? Like, it's crazy.
Other than to observe that there's something weird about Balenciaga. And we know it's not just a coincidence, and we know it's not just the Republican reaction, the pouncing, because Balenciaga is taking this very seriously. Balenciaga is wiping their Instagram page, apologizing immediately for the campaign, taking legal action against the people who are creating the campaign. And then you look into it, and it's just all this overtly satanic imagery. You can't write off this stuff as a crazy conspiracy theory. You certainly can't in a world post-Jeffrey Epstein, okay? Because post-Jeffrey Epstein, we know that there actually is an elite cabal of pedophiles who have a whole island who would go to the island and do weird sex stuff with kids.
So can we say Alex Jones was right again? Or
you can't just say, well, you crazy tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists. We know that happened. There are court documents about it. And yet we still don't really know who the clients are. We still don't have the little black book. No one's really been held accountable for it. Jeffrey Epstein
yeah, why don't we know who the
got
clients
Jeffrey
are?
Epstein. Ghislaine Maxwell is getting some sort of sweetheart deal. But
First
what about the
person to
clients?
traffic to nobody.
And why does it always seem to come down to weird satanic stuff? You notice this? Now, you might say, well, this designer woman from Balenciaga, she's just ironically worshiping the devil and putting up all this imagery. The fact that Google Translate, I assume
Okay.
someone just went in and kind of tinkered with it. It's a kind of weird joke.
guess.
I don't know how else to make sense of that translation. To make it the satanic commandment. Maybe it's just a kind of a weird, ironic joke or so. But the thing is, you can't worship the devil ironically. You can't do anything ironically for too long. If you behave in an ironic way for your whole life, then it's just sincere. Then it's just earnest. That's just what you have done. And when you worship Satan ironically, when you just sort of do what you want, as a lot of the Satanists say, we don't really believe in the devil. We just do what we want. Right. That is worshiping the devil. That is it. It's that line from, I think it was Baudelaire. It says, the finest trick of the devil is to convince you that he does not exist.
Yeah, worshiping yourself is worshiping the devil. But that is super creepy. So if anybody's supporting this Balenciaga company going forward, I don't know what to do with you, bro. I really don't know what to do with you. Wow. Yeah, the world is it's gone demonic, bro. That's for sure. That is for sure. I appreciate you stopping by for that one. If you want to support the channel, McClures.store, we sell quality American products. I appreciate you coming through. Wow. I don't even know. I don't even know. All right, guys. Thanks.